Oh, girl. Wanted to talk to you today about, we're going to be actually putting on a real estate tour. This is my kitty cat, Precious. She's real sweet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put on two things. We're going to have a hiking tour right around Frigate Bay area. There's two places that it's real good to go hiking. And the reason I'm showing you this is to show you the different places you can go to in Frigate Bay and St. Kitts. And what we're actually be doing is we're going to have two different tours. One is a hiking tour. This is if you're real, I'd say, in pretty good shape, because these will be 1.5 to 2 hour hikes, and some of these will be hills. But it will be going through different developments in Frigate Bay. Some people like to do a lot of exercise and some don't. We'll have another tour that's going to be strictly in the car and going to see developments from there. It'll be a pretty extensive tour. In fact, it'll be very extensive because it will start early in the morning and go until late at night. And then what we'll be doing is going through and showing not only the developments, but then finding out individually what people are interested in, if they want to ask personal questions, the next day. So, and it's going to take, we'll probably go from around 7 or 8 in the morning, all the way until about 7 at night. It's going to be really extensive, looking at all the properties here. Also, the next day, like I said, we'll be dissecting and going through what people want individually to look at. This is a no pressure type thing. You come down, it's strictly to show you properties. If you want information, you go from there. That's all we're doing, to educate you on citizenship and also other types of countries too, not just St. Kitts, but we'll be talking about other countries too, and the advantages and disadvantages of each one of them. But the best way to really see this is where you're really coming down and getting a better handle on this. But right now all the airports are closed, so we're actually going to be getting the people that are interested in coming down, signing up first, and then we'll call you when the airports open up, because the coronavirus everything's been closed, the cruise ships, airports, and everything. So I'll let you know more about that. But right now we're just collecting people's names on ones that are interested in coming down, and we'll be talking to you on this. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through here and show you. This will probably be on another tape, but we've actually going to be a tape that's going to show the different types of places that you can go as far as for exercising. And there's two mountains that are real close to Frigate Bay, and these mountains are real good for hiking real close to Frigate Bay, where you don't even have to go off. You can literally stay at the Marriott and go to these two mountaintops. Now, one of them is right here, and you can see that mountaintop, and to the left of that mountain is the Marriott. So, and they're not actually that far away, but you'd be surprised, almost nobody goes to that mountain. It's just empty all the time, and it's got great walking trails up to that mountaintop, and it's got incredible views of the Atlantic and the Caribbean side. So you can kind of see, what it looks like from there. All right, now we'll have these walking trails. It's getting ready to rain here now, so I'm hoping my phone doesn't get too wet here. And so what we'll be doing is going through and showing you the different developments, and also the areas that qualify for citizenship and the ones that don't, because there are ways that you can get residency here and not citizenship, and it is cheaper going the residency route, and that leads up to citizenship, but you're looking at 15 years before you can get citizenship here. If you get the quick route, you're looking at 4 months. There are extra fees that you have to pay, but it's well worth it. But everybody's different. Most people go the quick route. That's the best way to do it. But we'll be going all the way down the south end of those mountains there. You can see that's the Southeast Peninsula, and we'll be going down to that area. That is the most expensive area in St. Kitts, and we'll be actually taking a car down there. That's too far. The hikes that we're going to be doing, if you want to do that, we'll have a group that's especially for that. That's going to be here in Frigate Bay, and it goes over to Half Moon Bay, we call New Haven Mountain. So this mountain here that you're looking at right in the middle of the screen is one hiking that we'll be doing from the Marriott, and Marriott is just to the left of that. And then we'll be going to another one that's on the other end. You can't see it from here. I'm actually walking towards that now, but it won't be in this tape. We'll have it in another tape. But I'm going to show you the other hike that we'll be taking. And then some people won't want to do that. Some are going to want to just get in the car and just ride. The great thing about hiking, though, is you'll be going by these houses slow. We won't be going inside those houses. We'll be going on the outside, just getting people familiar with what these properties look like. And I'll be going over cost factors and things like this, because just giving people a general idea of what the houses cost. And then we'll be centered down on going inside some of the units on another day. So we're going to make it real comprehensive exercise. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. We'll have another group that will be going strictly in vehicles, and then riding from there to different units. But the citizenship projects are all over. Now, when I say citizenship projects, these are developments that qualify for economic citizenship. So if you buy in those projects, you get citizenship as long as you purchase at least $200,000. But like I say, that's on a fraction. You don't want to get those. You need a standalone unit. Fractions are very difficult to resell. And the minimum, if it's not a fraction to get citizenship, is $400,000 US. So, and then I'm going to show properties that don't qualify for citizenship. Now this one is one that does qualify for citizenship here, and you can see there. Now, this mountain that I'm heading towards, I'll actually be closing off the tape before I get there, because it's going to take a while to get there. I'm going to make this tape short. But this is the walk that we'll be taking to get there. And people that will actually be meeting at the Marriott. And it will take probably, it's going to be at least an hour and a half to 2 hour walk up to the mountaintop and then back. And then you'll be able to see a lot of these properties in here that are in St. Kitts. Some qualify, some don't qualify for citizenship. But by walking, like I said, you'll get a better picture on, you can see things better when you walk than when you're riding. You miss so much when you don't walk and exercise. But like I said, some people are not going to want to hike. But the ones that do, I'm just giving you a little bit idea, what this is going to look like, and give you a better picture too. If you ever come back to St. Kitts, places that you can go yourself and hike, and if you do it yourself, when you come down, you remember where it's at. And remember, these are places that are close by Frigate Bay, so you don't even need a car when you come here to go to these places. And one thing I want to tell you that I wanted to go over in this tape real quick while we're doing this is some things that can really cut back on your cost here is if you come down, if you're going to stay for a couple of weeks or something at a time, and you're an exercise freak like me, I would suggest you don't even get a rent-a-car. If you stay in Frigate Bay, it's 3 miles from town. You can literally walk to town or take a, the problem with getting a rent-a-car, some people get rent-a-cars and they don't even use them every day. So then you're just throwing out $60 to $80 a day out and you're not even using it. I would just use a taxi only when you need it, or better yet, get a a bicycle, you can buy a bike down here for $150. If you're staying out here for 2 weeks, just use it the whole time you're here. And if you're going a long distance, you don't want to take a bike on, just use a taxi. And then when you leave, take the bicycle. The children's home would love to have a new bicycle, and just give it to them, man. They'll love you to death from it. And you paid $150 for the whole 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever you're down here for all your transportation, and maybe just the few times you needed a taxi. But if you're going around the island long ways, you're really better off taking a high bus. It's got H or HA on the back of the actual vehicle. That's H as in horse. If you take those, you can literally go on the other end of the island, which is about 16 miles, and only cost you about $1.50, $2 US. And it's a lot cheaper than a taxi. Now, you're riding in a group with people, but now you can't go to Frigate Bay with that. You have to get that in town. It will not go to the Southeast Peninsula, and it will not go to Frigate Bay. It only goes anywhere in town, Basseterre, and then all the way around the whole complete island. So I'm telling you ways to really cut back when you come here, because a lot of times people come here and they just spend way too much money. There are ways to really cut back. And when you come here too, if you really want to cut back and not eat out so much, because eating out can really eat up your money, is if you're tight like me, is there's 2 Rams stores in Frigate Bay, RAMS, and you can buy really good fruits and vegetables and all kinds of food there, and just keep it in your room. Man, you cut way back on your costs by doing that instead of eating out so much. That just burns up your money. And so I would tell you, if you, and plus you can eat a lot healthier if you do that than eating out all the time. And one thing that's nice, like I said about St. Kitts, nobody's died from the coronavirus here. There's only been about 16, 17 cases here total, and nobody's even been on a respirator. But if you look at my other tapes too, one of the things that we go over is the big tax advantages, like I've mentioned before in other tapes. There's no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, and a property tax of 0.20% of whatever you're purchasing. Now that's, like I said before, about 13 to 15 times less than the property tax in New Jersey. So to give you a comparison of how low the taxes are here. But like I said, what's so unique about St. Kitts here is it's English speaking, so you don't have to deal with that. You can go the quick track or the slow track on getting citizenship. It's close to the U.S. You've got direct flights to Miami, Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Toronto, Canada. So it's you can get here as quick as you can drive across the state, probably where you're at right now. And great tax laws. You could bring down 10, 15, $20 million and buy properties here, pay no income tax on the properties. Now, like I said, if you're a U.S. citizen, you would have to relinquish your U.S. citizenship to get around rental property income. Or you can do this, is if you're from Germany or France or some country that taxes worldwide income, if you live there as a resident all the time, you would need to get out of that residency tie that puts you as a resident for tax-wise in those countries, and then live in St. Kitts full time. But now the U.S. tax is based on residency and on citizenship, and also what's called substantial presence test, which I've gone on over other tapes, and that is if you're in the U.S. as a round number to play it safe, more than 120 days a year, they can tax you on your worldwide income. So you would have to get around all 3 of those. The substantial presence test, you'd have to get around any sort of permanent residency with a green card, or if you're a citizen, even if you're living outside the U.S., if you still have citizenship in the U.S., you're tied to those tax laws there. So, but this is just some of the houses we'll show you, and we'll be actually hiking through here. It's kind of like a semi-jungle, and The ocean's on the other side here. Most of these homes here run anywhere from about, we've got one that's I did a tape on just recently that's right there, that pink house. That's got, just to give you an example, that one has got, the guy just lowered the price. He's asking $480,000 US. It's got 5,800 square feet. That's this one here, 5,800 square feet. We subtracted the land from it and got the cost per square foot. It's about 44 US dollars per square foot, or around just under 500 US dollars per square meter. That's how cheap this lot is. Now you can compare that with where you're living right now, and you got to remember there's no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, and almost no property tax. Another thing I want to mention too is right where this camera's pointing right now, if you went another about 50 miles, you would hit St. Bart's. St. Bart's, I can literally see it on a clear day. St. Bart's has more, the property, to give you an example, in St. Bart's, it's higher than Bermuda, the Cayman Islands. 10 years ago, I just saw a lot. It was up on a hilltop overlooking the ocean. Just the lot itself was $4 million US dollars. And right now, St. Kitts has got some of the cheapest property per square foot on land of any place that I know of that has a pure tax haven status where there is no income tax. And whenever you have a country that has no income tax, what happens is the property values, because it lures a lot of investors, the properties go up tremendously. This is what happened in the Caymans, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands, and Bahamas had the same thing too. But the funny thing is, a lot of people have never heard of St. Kitts. This is why you have not seen it happen here, but this is changing. And St. Kitts right now is one of the best times to buy because the dollar is real high. And this is an emerging market, and it's tied, the US dollar's tied, the EC dollar's tied to the US dollar. And you can see the ocean here. This is the Marriott Golf Course. Beautiful views here. And but the EC dollar is tied to the US dollar. So when the dollar's high, it's a lot more expensive for Europeans to buy in the euro, or if they're from UK, buying in the pound sterling. So, but this is getting ready to change because the dollar's been up over the last 11 years, and the average bull market in the US dollar is about 11 years, and we're already at that point. So when the dollar takes a huge fall, this is usually when a frenzy in buying occurs here, which happened back around about 99 to about 2009, that 10-year period there. So this is a great time to be buying. It's a great buyer's market if you want a real good deal on property. And if you really want to control your taxes, there is no place on earth better than here. The prices are comparable in food prices to the US. If you know how to do it, how to work your, I get usually fresh fruits and vegetables. And if you do that, it's going to be the same price, or maybe even cheaper than the US. It's a lot cheaper than Bermuda or the Cayman Islands. So this is the key thing that you want to look at. Now, these houses here, we're actually in an area called Half Moon Bay, which is, I started off in Frigate Bay. Now we're hitting Half Moon Bay, which is one of the prettiest areas. I'd say the two best areas, rate of return wise, that have done the best is Frigate Bay and Half Moon Bay, and they're also the best for the money because you've got the Marriott Golf Course here that runs adjacent to the ocean, and it's really pretty here. It's really quiet. It's if you want to get around, you probably hear that dog barking in the distance. You can get in gated communities and you won't hear anything. That's the Citizenship development off there in the distance. That's Koi Resort. It's a 5-star resort. But these houses here are they run like anywhere from about, well, the one I just showed you, the big one, that's on the low end. They run from that price, which is $480,000, up to around, they've got some up here about anywhere from about 1.5 to 2 million, the real big ones here. But you can get some really good deals. That's one of them that I just showed you back there at $44 a square foot. Compare that with where you're at, with incredible ocean views. That house has got great ocean views. And in a country that has a tax structure like this, it's incredible. Now, we're getting now up this hilltop, and this is just showing you the hiking that we'll be doing. Now, I'm not showing you from Marriott to here, which, you know, there's going to be extra time that's put in there. That's the Marriott Golf Course there, as you can see. It's real pretty up here. But the key thing is we'll have two different groups. Like I said, people that want to exercise, that really want to take their time and really see places. And then some people are going to want to get in the car. They don't want to do that. So we'll have two different groups at two different times. It just depends on, you know, what you want to do there. You can see they got nice walls here. This is a real pretty house here. And you can see off in the distance, again, that's Koi Resort there. That's a 5-star resort. It's a Citizenship. But like I said, they do a lot of fractional units there. I would, if you're going to do anything, do full service units. Don't buy fractional units. It's a beautiful resort right on the ocean front, but I would concentrate on getting full units, which they do have full units. They're just a lot more expensive. But you own the whole thing. You don't want to own a fraction. Now, this will be the mountain I'm going to show you right here. I showed you the first mountain at the very beginning of the video. Now, I'm going to actually cut off right about now, because this will be the other mountain we'll hike up to the top of one day, and then the other mountain the other day. And this view is incredible up on this mountaintop. And you see, it didn't take that long really to get to this one here. Of course, I do have probably another 30 minutes to go to get up near the top up there. And then the walk from the Marriott. Anyway, if you got a question or comment, if you'll put it below, and I'll see what I can do to answer any questions you got. Also, if you hit the subscribe button, you'll get all these new videos as they come out automatically. That's that little red button to the right of your screen. And also, we deal with other countries too. We deal with 74 countries. You have to go on our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. You can look at all the countries we've got there. We're putting new countries. They've got new programs all the time that we're putting on there. And I just like St. Kitts because it checks every single block. You get dual citizenship. It's English speaking. You can get the passport in 4 months. It's close to the US, Canada. They have direct flights to the UK. Everything is easier to get done here. You don't have the problems with all the negatives. It's all the boxes are checked, and that's the neat thing about here. But some people don't mind paying, more in high taxes, and so everybody's different on what they want. And we deal with a lot of different countries, which you'll see on our website. And then all you have to do is hit at the top of the website on the home page where it says apply with us. Questions will come up, fill those out, and then hit where it says at the bottom send back to us. We'll get back with you based on what you're looking for. And if you're interested, like I said, in coming to one of these showings, whether it be the hike tour or actually the tour dealing with riding around and seeing the citizenship and non-citizenship properties, go on our website and contact us, and we'll get back with you on more information. And I'll look forward to talking to you later. Take care.